everybody. Welcome to RPM, Rock and Pop Mandolin, your site, your destination for learning classic rock and pop songs on this wonderful little 8-stringed instrument. Today, we're going back to a classic song from the Police. It's called Roxanne, and it is certainly a fun tune to play. Some really cool jazzy chords played by Andy Summers on the guitar. On the original version, I will show you some simplified chords that you can play on the mandolin and get it close to being the original, not exactly right, but you can get it close. I will show you, okay? But first, a little bit of business here on RPM. Thanks very much for tuning in. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that little red subscriber button in the lower right corner. If you are a returning subscriber, thanks again for coming back, but don't forget to leave us a like if you like this video. And something new, guys, please check out my new series of beginning rock and pop mandolin lessons. Yes, the link is down below in the comments section. I have created a new series of videos which you can purchase and learn to play the mandolin. If you are a beginner or an intermediate player, these videos will help you, take you right from the beginning, picking up the mandolin for the first time, all the way through to learning your first 5 songs. All right, so check out that link, Beginning Rock and Pop Mandolin. The link is down below. Also down below, some links to Sweetwater and Amazon. If you purchase some products through those links, I will get a small commission, so check those out as well. Okay, that's enough business for now. Let's take a look at this Police classic, Roxanne, for the mandolin here on RPM. All right, as I said, Roxanne has some really cool jazzy chords. You wouldn't think so for a simple 3-minute pop punk song, but Andy Summers was a jazz guitarist first, and he really, I think that's one of the beautiful things about the Police and their music was the fact that it was more complex than just simple punk pop songs. Andy would really put in some jazzy voicings on the guitar. I will show you some of those, but I'm going to keep it fairly simple for you on the mandolin as well. So let's start off with the first chord, a G minor. Now on the guitar, Andy's doing a G minor 7 chord. We could do that here on the mandolin like that. That's a G minor 7 chord, but I don't think it sounds quite as good on the mandolin as playing just the standard G. And the reason is I want to get that G note root in this chord. If we play the G minor 7 like that, we are losing the G, and it kind of doesn't work, right? So here, we're going to do just this G minor voicing for this version of Roxanne. And it just starts like this, downstrokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Just on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, all right? And you want to kind of deaden this chord too. You want to mute it and make it very staccato-like, all right? So what is this G minor chord that I'm showing you here? Well, it's the 3rd fret of the G string and the 5th fret of the D and the 5th fret of the A, all right? That's a G minor chord, just like that, okay? And I'm just hitting it and then immediately pulling my fingers off the chord. I'm not letting it ring out like that, okay? I'm not holding it down for the whole 4 beats. I'm just pulling it right off and I'm hitting it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that for the intro of the song. Again, if you wanted to play the actual chord that Andy Summers is playing, the G minor 7, just take that finger off the 5th fret of the D string, and now you have the 3 and the 3 and the 5 on the A, okay? You hear that chord? That's a G minor 7, all right? And that's actually the guitar chord that Andy Summers is playing, but I prefer this one for the mandolin. You see the difference? All right, so that is your first chord, a G minor on the mandolin. Next, we're going to move just to an F chord here. All right, so you're starting on the G, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 on the F. Again, Andy Summers on the original version is playing an F6 chord. We don't really need to worry about that. Here, I'll just show you the regular F chord, okay? And this is 2nd fret of the G, 3rd fret of the D, 3rd fret of the A string, an F major chord. Okay, so those first 2 chords go like this. And then you're going to these chords. Okay, what are those chords? Well, that 3rd chord is an E flat chord. All right, I'm just playing an E flat major chord right here. So 3rd fret of the G string, 5th fret here, of the D, and now the 6th fret of the A. Okay, so it's almost the same as that G minor chord, except now you're adding your pinky finger there to make it an E flat chord, like that, okay? And again, Andy Summers plays an E flat 7. I'm just playing an E flat here. Works nicely for the mando. Then I'm just sliding that down to a D minor chord, D minor, all right? Not a D minor 7 like the original, just a D minor. So E flat, D minor. Okay, what's your D minor chord? Well, that's the 2nd fret here of the G, 3rd fret of the D, and the 5th fret of the A string, right? So that's a D chord. Again, you could play that D minor 7 if you want, like the original, but I just don't feel that it works that well, right? And actually, if you go from an E flat 7 like that to a D minor 7, it doesn't sound good for this progression on the mandolin. Of course, it works on the guitar, but, you know, because of the way the strings are configured here on the mandolin, it's slightly different. So I just prefer the regular voicings of these chords, all right? So not the extended voicing. So here we go. One more time from the beginning. G minor, F, E flat, D minor. Okay? G minor, F, E flat, D minor. All right, and then next we're going here, here, right? Okay, now I am going to show you some extended chords here. This is a C minor 7 chord, which works really nicely there. And then here, that's an F sus4 and a G sus4. All right, so what is that? Well, what is the C minor 7? You're here on the 3rd fret of the G string, and then the 1st fret of these 2 strings right here, the 1st fret. Okay, and you want to just go, right? Just the same staccato picking pattern as before. Then I'm going to go to this chord, which is really cool. It's an F sus4. So it's almost like your basic open F chord, but I'm moving this finger, my pointer finger, down to here, the 1st fret of the A string. All right, so you're at the 5th fret of the G, 3rd fret of the D, and now the 1st fret of the A string. Can you hear how that, you hear the difference in that chord from the F? It's got a real sort of leading sound to it. It wants to lead to the next chord, which is just here, a G sus4 chord. So basically you're just moving that pattern up 2 frets now to here. All right, and that's how Andy actually ends these patterns, these verse patterns. A really cool, very sort of leading chord, leaving you hanging and waiting for more, all right? By the way, I'll show you another way to play this chord in a minute that also works, okay? So this chord, the G sus4, is on the 7th fret of your G string, 5th fret of the D, and 3rd fret of the A, okay? So this pattern goes... Again, you're just doing it very staccato, choppy-like. The last one, you're going to pause. Like that. You're going to pause on that G sus4. Now, you could also play another G sus4 chord, which I think I might have done a couple times in that intro, like that. And that is almost the same as this one, except it's utilizing these 2 open strings. You still have your finger there on the 3rd fret of the A, but that's it. You're just going to hit all of those open. That is also a G sus4 chord. So it's the same as this, almost. Can you hear that? So you can also end the patterns with that, okay, with that chord there, all right? Okay, so let me run through the entire chord progression for the verses, starting off with that G minor, to the F, E flat, D minor, C minor 7, F sus4, G. One more time. All with choppy downstrokes. See, now I ended on that open G sus4 chord. All right, so what is the next part of the song? Well, the next part of the song is actually just that repeated part that I just showed you from the C minor 7 to the F sus4 to the G sus4. It's like a pre-chorus, right? It goes, right? And then again. All right. So C minor 7 right there, once again. 3rd fret, 1st fret, 1st fret. And then you've got that F sus4 once again, and the G sus4. Okay, now we've hit the chorus parts of this song, and these totally change the course of the tune from kind of a jazzy reggae song to a punk rock tune, which really makes it a cool song. And Andy sort of ditches those jazzy chord voicings for a moment or two and goes just with bar chords here. So, okay, so coming out of this part, the G sus4, you're going to go... Okay, so what is that? Well, start with this C note here, which is the 5th fret of your G string right there, right? 5th fret there. You're just going to hit it once. And then you're going to move to cover these 2 notes here. And what is that? Well, that is a B flat chord. All right, a B flat. You can actually just play it up there too if you want, but I'm just doing a 2-finger chord here. So you're going, and now you're starting to hit it like that, okay? And I like to do a little sort of punk rock lead-in note there to that 3rd fret there, okay? So you're going from the 2nd to the 3rd, a very cool little pickup note there. So once again, right, you see that? Right? So it comes in from there. Then you're going to move up to the next string. All right, from the 1st fret and the 1st fret there of the middle 2 strings, which is an E flat chord, very quickly to there. 3rd fret, 3rd fret, which is now an F chord. Okay, so one more time from the beginning of this part. Jump up. And then again, do a pickup note there from the 2nd fret of the D string this time to the 3rd fret. Like that. So one more time here. Roxanne, right? Roxanne. And you could form that whole chord there, the 2-finger chord there if you want, or you can just play the single note, right? And then from there, you're going to hit that E flat again and jump down to the G, all right? So, and what I like to do is when I hit the E flat and jump down to the G, I quickly jump up this finger here to the 5th fret of the D. It's another G note. So I'm actually hitting 2 G notes there. All right, so you'll like that. And then you can do that again, that little pickup note for the G, which is here, F sharp to G. So that's the 4th fret of the D, 5th fret of the D, while you're still hitting that low G note there. You see that? See how I did that? And then finally, the last time through the chorus, when you hit that E flat chord, you can go to that G sus4 open chord again, which again is just open string, 3rd fret of the A and the open E. It's a really nice way to end that pattern. All right, so to run through the chorus part one more time, it goes Roxanne, right? Roxanne. 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 Just like that. All right, that is Roxanne by The Police, one of the great songs coming out of the late 1970s from one of my favorite bands. I'm sure you'll have some fun playing the simplified version of that tune here on the mandolin. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscriber button if you're new here. Leave us a like if you're not. And don't forget also to check out my new series of rock and pop mandolin lessons for beginners down below. The link is in the comments section. Thanks very much for watching RPM. My name is Mike DeJong. See you in the next video.